Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. Helen Keller. As the world becomes increasingly connected, so should our schools. Collaboration across the globe helps students to understand perspectives beyond their own societal boundaries. Today, we have amongst you the students and teachers of Bal Bharati Public School, Noida, and GEMS Millennium School, Sharjah, who will throw light upon the life of the father of the nation of UAE, Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, and father of the nation India, Mahatma Gandhi. We extend our heartiest gratitude towards Mrs. Asha Prabhakar, Principal, Bal Bharati Public School, Noida, and Mrs. Teresa Berman, Principal, GEMS Millennium School, Sharjah. We also welcome Mrs. Anupama Motwani, Vice Principal, Bal Bharati Public School, Noida, and Mrs. Vinita Gupta, Headmistress, GEMS Millennium School, Sharjah. Mrs. Vinya Pujari, Headmistress, Primary, Bal Bharati Public School, Noida. Mrs. Madhulika Verma, Head Primary, GEMS Millennium School, Sharjah. And Mrs. Zia Azmi, Educational Supervisor, Grades 3 and 4, GEMS Millennium School, Sharjah. I would like to extend my regards to all the honorary members of the leadership team present with us today. We welcome you all and thank you for gracing this event. I also welcome Mrs. Rashi Anand and Mrs. Manisha Siddhi from Bal Bharati Public School, Noida, along with their team of students. Over to you, Rashi ma'am.
Thank you, Catherine and Carolyn. It's a pleasure to be here. Hello, Namaskar and Alhan. I am Rashi Anand from Bal Bharati Public School, Noida. I want to thank you all on the behalf of entire Bal Bharati Public School team for inviting us to this virtual global collaboration. We are enthused at the opportunity to exchange words virtually with our friends of GEMS Millennium School, Sharjah. It is so good to see you all. Let me familiarize you with our school building and the key pillars of its strong foundation. This is our magnificent school building situated in Noida. It is run by Child Education Society. Now let me introduce you to the key members of the school. Shri L.R. Chana, President CES. Shri Nikhil Chana, Chairman of Bal Bharati Public School, Noida. Our ingenious Principal Ma'am, Mrs. Asha Prabhakar. Our motivating and supporting Vice Principal Ma'am, Mrs. Anupma Motwani. Our judicious torch bearers, Mrs. Amita Ganju, Headmistress Senior, Mrs. Vinya Pujari, Headmistress Primary, and Mrs. Sarika Pasi, Headmistress Pre-Primary. This virtual meet has surely bridged the gap that our schools have in terms of distance. Do you know that we are sitting 2,195 kilometers away? Isn't that fascinating? Well, I believe it is. If you do too, show me a thumbs up. That's great. Now, without further ado, let us begin our discussion on the prominent personalities who fathered, built, and brought up our nations. We Indians will talk about Mahatma Gandhi, the man who fathered our nation with his will, perseverance, and he is the one who is usually responsible for our freedom. Come, let's hear more about him from my student Shreya. Over to you, Shreya.
Thank you, ma'am. Hello everyone, I am Shreya and today I am going to talk about our father of nation, Mahatma Gandhi, a voice of resistance. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, universally acclaimed as Mahatma Gandhi, was an honest and resolute child. He was the follower of righteousness, and this fact can easily be proven with the story that I am going to share. This incident occurred during his first examinations at the high school. Mr. Giles, an educational inspector, had come on a visit on inspection. He set up 5 words to write as a spelling exercise. One of the words was kettle. Gandhiji had misspelled it. The teacher tried to prompt him, but he couldn't understand. In excited, the teacher nudged him to copy from his neighbor's slate. But he couldn't understand that either. This is because he was a man of values. He didn't understand the need for copying when he wanted to be honest about his skills. Finally, all the boys had got all the words correctly. But him? Later, his teacher scolded him, but he firmly said, "That would have been a lie."
Now, we would like to introduce you to the founding father of UAE, who is the patriarch and the principal driving force behind the formation of the United Arab Emirates. Without further ado, I would like to call upon Rihanna of grade 4G.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rihanna and I'm from grade 4 of Gems Millennium School, Sharjah. Today, I'm going to talk about the father of the nation of UAE. His Highness Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan is the father of the nation of UAE. He was born on May 6, 1918. He was born in Sultan bin Zayed Fort in Alain. He was the youngest of the four brothers. They moved from Alain to Abu Dhabi in 1927. As a child, Sheikh Zayed got his education from the local preachers, which included memorizing the Quran and the fundamentals of Islam. He also began to show interest in falconry. Throughout the years late 1920s and the late 1930s, Sheikh Zayed's thirst for knowledge led him into the desert, where he lived alongside the Bedouin tribesmen, familiarizing himself with their daily life, their traditional skills, and their ability to survive in the harsh climatic conditions. Sheikh Zayed took his love and respect for the environment, the traditions, and the transformation and applied it to his nation.
That amazing introduction. Coming up next is Shivanshi from India.
Thank you, Carolyn. Hello, friends. My name is Shivanshi, and today I will talk about Gandhiji, a learner and explorer. He graduated with a law degree from University College of London. He was always a shy student, but that never stopped him from learning new things. He once said that, "Live as if you were to die tomorrow and learn as if you were to live forever." Gandhiji learnt everything with zeal and always strived to be better than he was. He believed that education helps in developing the moral character of a man, and what a human thinks, he becomes. He was firm on his belief and always worked hard to acquire knowledge.
Thank you, Shivanshi, for that wonderful presentation. Did you know Sheikh Zayed was the ruler of Abu Dhabi for more than 30 years? Next, we have Arjun of grade 4B1.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Arjun from 4B1, Gems Millennium School, Sharjah. I am an Indian and a very proud resident of this great nation called United Arab Emirates. Over the past 1 year, I got to learn many things about history of this great nation from my teachers. It kindled immense interest in me to know more about this nation, which is now home to me. Let me share important events in the past of United Arab Emirates. On 2nd December 1971, this nation was founded by coming together of 7 emirates, which were formerly known as Crucial States. The UAE National Day is celebrated in 2nd of December every year to commemorate this formal union of all the 7 emirates. It was His Highness Sheikh Zayed's enthusiasm that was a key factor in the formation of the UAE and is therefore considered the founder of this nation. He won support for the way in which he sought agreement among his fellow rulers and was elected by these rulers to serve as the first president of the United Arab Emirates. He was a great visionary with eyes for the development of this desert nation. He had a strong passion for anything which a true-born Arab is identified for, such as falconry, riding Arabian thoroughbreds, camels, and horses. He also had great liking for archery. His early youth was largely spent in Al-Ain and is often called as the man who turned the desert green. He had great respect for Bedouin tradition and lived a relatively modest life, always attuned to his basic traditions and values. Thank you.
Thank you, Arjun, for that wonderful presentation. Coming up next, we have Vedika from India.
Thank you, Carolyn. Hello, my name is Vedika, and today I'm going to talk about Gandhiji, a reform against the apartheid. Gandhiji learned about the practice of separation known as apartheid during his first employment in South Africa. He was mistreated there as Indian immigrant. Once, on a train journey to Pretoria, he was thrown out of a first-class railway compartment and beaten up by a white stagecoach driver after refusing to give up his seat for a European passenger. That train journey served as a turning point for Gandhiji, and he soon began developing and teaching the concept of satyagraha, truth and firmness, or passive resistance, as a way of non-cooperation with authorities. He led a campaign of civil disobedience that lasted for 8 years and ended with the government of South Africa accepting a compromise negotiated by Gandhiji.
Thank you, Vedika, for that terrific presentation. Next, we have Gayatri of grade 4BG.
Hello everyone, my name is Gayatri. I am from grade 4BG and today I will be talking about the topic Reforms made in areas of education, health and housing by His Highness Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan. United Arab Emirates is one of the educational hubs in the world and the home to the best schools, colleges and top universities in the UAE. But this would not have happened if it did not have a visionary leader like Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan. Born around 1918 in Abu Dhabi, Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan found Emirate in a poor and undeveloped state. Education was generally confined into lessons in reading and writing. On August 6, 1966, after succeeding his elder brother as the ruler of Abu Dhabi, Sheikh Zayed took massive construction program for schools, colleges, hospitals with a vision to set Abu Dhabi on a developmental curve. Soon after the formation of the United Arab Emirates, Sheikh Zayed took a large-scale initiative for the education sector. He firmly believed that in education for all citizens and started rolling out educational reforms that resulted in schools and learning centers being built across the country. He felicitated the recruitment of teachers from Arab countries to provide the best possible education to the younger generations. The National Emergency Medical Response Program (Estijaba) was launched in 2009 to enhance the skills of medical and administrative staff in the area of medical response to emergencies. Vakaya was launched in partnership with the Ministry of Health to enhance the health awareness among the members of the community with a focus on the most vulnerable sections to chronic diseases. Vakaya is the Arabic word for prevention. The Zayed Giving Initiative launched a mobile laboratory for science and technology, the first of its kind in the UAE and in the Middle East, to disseminate the principles of science and technology and to allow students to develop their creative scientific talents. Through the Emirates World Humanitarian Mobile Hospital, the Zayed Giving Initiative has implemented several humanitarian and healthcare programs in various branches of medicine under the supervision of the top physicians. The initiative has successfully treated a large number of needy heart patients and children suffering from various diseases all over the world. The road construction, telephone lines, and the establishment of national media were recognized as vital to link up the 7 Emirates with each other. The new roads, international airports, and seaports quickly enable UAE to play a prominent role in the modern industrial world and to take its well-deserved place among the world's most highly developed industrial nations. Thank you.
Thank you, Gayatri, for that informative talk. Did you know Mahatma Gandhi is brave because he fought for independence in India and never gave up? He believed in non-violence and peaceful protest to promote change. Coming up next is Shipurna from India.
Hello everyone, my name is Shipurna Pradhan. Today I am going to talk about Gandhiji, envisioner of metamorphosis. Gandhiji envisioned a change for free and independent nation. He wanted to attain Swaraj and promote Swadeshi. Swaraj means independence or self-rule, and Swadeshi means self-reliance. He wanted to build a society which would be totally different from the one created under the British rule. For that, he encouraged the making and use of Swadeshi products. He demanded to boycott foreign goods, thereby promoting the progress of our nation.
Thank you, Shipurna, for that extraordinary presentation. Next, we have Siddhant of grade 4B.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Siddhant Seth and I am from GEMS Millennium School, Sharjah. Today, I am going to talk about the developments done by Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan as a ruler, celebrated as the man who turned the desert green and the one who was destined to transform a backwater hamlet into a vibrant country, was born in the royal family of Abu Dhabi. Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, the founding father of UAE. The emirate back then was undeveloped, a vast desert with an economy based primarily on fishing, pearl diving and agriculture. It was Sheikh Zayed's vision back then which made UAE a unified, single federation full of opportunities and drove it towards modernization and growth. The unification and bonding of the 7 Emirates was a turning point in the history of UAE. He was the one who balanced the equation between spreading of education and the required thrust to traditional as well as modern sports. He planned and executed major constructions of dams, hospitals, bridge link from Abu Dhabi to mainland, seaports for easing marine trade, airports, along with excellent roadways network and many more such amenities, which enhanced the living standards of citizens of UAE. He understood the problems of locals and Bedouins and invested in and got built water ducts and falards for irrigation in desert areas to improve agriculture. Education shifted from the system of Mutawiya to modern systems of teachings. He empowered Emirati women so that their role in society could be strengthened. Realizing oil was a non-renewable resource, he focused on the manufacturing sector and infrastructure of the country. He considered his countrymen as assets and invested in their happiness and growth. He went hand in hand with his neighboring countries, providing support, both moral and financial. The visionary Sheikh Zayed and his contributions in unifying and developing UAE are the mark and reflection of a true leader. Thank you.
Thank you, Siddhant, for that astounding information. Coming up next is Devanshu Jha from India.
Hello everyone, myself Devanshu, and today my topic is Gandhiji, a harbinger of change. He was truly a harbinger of change. He was courageous and always stood for what is right. Let me tell you more about this fact in the story Civil Disobedience Movement led by him. Once during the British rule in India, Britishers had imposed tax on Indian soil. Indians were not allowed to collect, produce, or sell soil. The tax made it difficult for poor people to buy and use the soil they needed. Gandhiji found this law unfair and decided to protest against it. He said, "Next to air and water, salt is the greatest necessity for our life. It is essential for our health." So, he organized a non-violent march, also known as Gandhi March. It brought the whole nation together, and many people from all over India came together with Gandhiji and protested against the unfair law.
Thank you, Devanshu, for that amazing speech. Next, we have Badri Narayan of grade 4B.
Good afternoon. I'm Badri Narayan of grade 4B and I will be presenting my views on Sheikh Zayed, a symbol of love, peace, generosity and tolerance. His Highness Sheikh Zayed was a man who dedicated his life for the service of his country and people. He privately paid for the construction and annual running costs of hundreds of schools, orphanages and hospitals. He personally adopted more than 1,000 orphans. His vision always extended beyond the borders of the UAE and prioritized moral values, as reflected in his untiring support for charity and philanthropy. All the other rulers of the Emirates, Supreme Council members, and all UAE citizens and residents have continued to walk in the footsteps of the late leader. Because of Sheikh Zayed's generous vision, UAE is now regarded as one of the world's most charitable countries. The Year of Zayed is a local and international initiative that is designed to create greater awareness about the life, legacy, and values of Sheikh Zayed to help raise his profile to that of one of the world's most inspirational figures, to reinforce his status as a source of national pride and to honor his legacy with projects and initiatives that are consistent with his vision and values. Year 2018. During the Dubai Light Show, it was announced to be called the Year of Zayed to celebrate 100 years since his birth. Thank you.
Thank you for that impressive presentation. Coming up next is Shrishti from India.
Shrishti will be joining us in some time. Alright, so Shrishti will tell us about a man who entwined his nation together. Gandhiji was not only a positive influencer but also a great leader who knew how to take everyone along and stand as a united force in the front of colonizers, the Britishers. After the civil disobedience movement, Gandhiji pledged to shake the foundation of British Empire and made that possible by strongly opposing the laws and practices enforced by the Britishers. During the Second World War, Britishers started recruiting Indians for the war. Gandhiji protested strongly and said that Indians cannot be involved in a war that is in the favor of democratic purposes when India itself is not a free country. This argument exposed the two-faced image of the colonizers, and the whole nation stood with Gandhiji to attain independence. Thank you.
Thank you, Shrishti, for that great presentation. Thank you, ma'am. Next, we have Shristina of grade 4BG.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Christina Prajapati, and today I'm going to talk about present-day innovations of the UAE's scientific research and innovation. Innovation is today widely characterized as a key element of modern UAE. His Highness Sheikh Zayed was our innovator par excellence. The changes he introduced in the process of development that he led represented a veritable revolution covering the nature of government, the structure of settlement, opportunities to citizens and other residents, and much more. The most useful innovation is Calax, the humanoid robot. Calax is a medical innovation for monitoring device for elders in the UAE to measure vital, detect calls and alert the signs about emergencies to the nearest health. Whereas there is a humanoid robot named Sophia developed by the UAE that can show emotions and aim to care for the patients of ASD. The most interesting innovation done by UAE is Masdar City. It is strongly focused on sustainable development through reduction of the demand for energy and water and recycling and the reuse of waste materials. There are a few projects under construction which will soon be completed in the future, like the world's largest solar park. It has the capacity to generate 1.5 gigawatt electricity to surplus the demand of energy in the future. UAE is always focusing for the future growth of the nation. They have set up the nuclear plant which will help to generate emission-free electricity. The very important development is the Museum of Future. It is a visionary cultural institution. It is a combination of elements of exhibition, immersive theatre, and themed attractions. It invites you to look beyond the present and to replace the possible world to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Shristina, for that fantastic presentation. Coming up next is Rishima from India.
Thank you. Hello everyone. My name is Rishima. Today I'm going to talk about Gandhiji, a man who made sure our flag sways with pride. He was a selfless reformer who made sure that India would get complete freedom and progress as an independent nation. He envisioned a nation which is free, not only from foreign rule, but from their influence. Gandhi stressed for the importance of economic independence for India. He taught and preached use of homespun clothes instead of importing textiles from foreign countries. Importance of education to build character, adopting a simple lifestyle and to be independent and self-sufficient. Gandhi's vision of ideal society is of non-violence and democratic social orders, in which there's just a balance between individual freedom and social responsibility.
Thank you, Rishima. That was wonderful. Next, we have Razan of grade 4B. Over to you, Razan.
Good afternoon, friends and teachers. My name is Razan Muzaffar and I am from grade 4B. Ambition Zayed embraces space. Vision of leadership and determination of young people. The government of UAE is working on the UAE space program, which includes various space satellite projects, the Emirates Mars mission, and the UAE astronaut program. The Mohammed bin Rashid Space Center actively works to promote space science and research in the region. As the UAE's historic Hope probe flies towards Mars, the scientific temper and thirst for knowledge of the nation's founding father and of the rulers have helped cement UAE's position on the global space map. The probe of this mission is called Hope and Hope is scheduled to reach Mars in February 2021. The name Hope, which means Al-Amal in Arabic, was chosen because it sends a message of optimism to millions of young Arabs. The UAE's first astronaut, Hazal Mansouri, embraced space on September 25, 2019, bringing with it the hopes and aspirations of a nation moving forward with the vision of Sheikh Zayed's leadership and the determination of the country's youth with greater achievements and to take the seat of global leadership in all fields. Hazal Mansouri shouldered the slogan, Zayed's ambition during his historic mission, which constituted a unique model for the nation's youth, called Will, Challenge and Achievement. Thank you.
Thank you, Razan. We thoroughly enjoyed your talk. Coming up next is Satvik from India.
Thank you. Hello, I am Satvik. Today, I am going to speak about Mahatma Gandhi, builder of new avenues using the pillars of education. Gandhiji gave importance to education. He once said, "The real difficulty is that people have no idea of what education truly is." We assess the value of education in the similar manner as we assess the value of land or of shares in the stock exchange market. We want to provide only such education as would enable a student to earn more. We hardly give any thought to the improvement of the character of the educated. He believes that what a man thinks, he becomes, and education plays a major role in envisioning and casting the thoughts of a person.
Thank you, Satvik, for that impressive presentation. Next, we have Geet of grade 4G.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Geet Dubey. I study in grade 4G of GEMS Millennium School, Sharjah. Today, I'm going to talk about the future of the UAE. From humble beginnings, UAE has rapidly grown into one of the world's most exciting cities, home to the region's most dynamic economy and best public infrastructure. UAE is a magnet for foreign investors. It also ranks among the world's most popular tourism destinations. Already the Middle East top destination for foreign investment. UAE is aiming to become the world's smartest city by 2021, the most visited city by 2025, and the global hub of the Islamic economy within the next decade. As a result, there's never been a better time to invest in UAE's future. Thank you.
For that wonderful talk. Coming up next is Anshika from India.
Thank you. Hello everyone. My name is Anshika. Today I am going to tell about Gandhiji, a man who sculpted non-violently. I object to violence because when it appears to be good, the good is only temporary, the evil it does is permanent. With such thoughts, he always fought by using non-violent practices. He considered violence a clumsy weapon, which created more problems than it solved. He claimed that it left a trail of hatred and bitterness, in which genuine reconciliation was almost impossible. Thank you.
Thank you, Anshika. It was an astonishing presentation. Next, we have Adra of grade 4BG.
Good afternoon, friends and teachers. I am going to talk about the next 50 years of UAE. UAE has remained ahead with the futuristic insight of its leaders and people who continue to strive for excellence across all fields. The UAE has developed Centennial Plan 2071, which include plans related to economy, education, infrastructure, health, technology, space science, innovation, engineering and media. With the wise vision of our founding father, the late Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, we have stayed ahead of time and reached to where we proudly are today. The UAE's global influence has broadened with its special achievements in all sectors. As for the transformation of these vision into tangible reality, 2020 was declared as a year of preparation for 50. The main objective of this plan is to be the best country in the world by 2071. UAE continue to pave a promising future for next generation and to equip them with the advanced knowledge and skills. During this upcoming year, the UAE aims to transform a global hub for science research and their applications in various fields. Another focus area is to excel in the educational sector by focusing on higher education and achieving remarkable international rankings for universities. The government will continue to ensure high quality life for citizens and residents. We prepare for the next 50 years of success with our eyes set on a brighter future with the vision of our founding father. We look forward to the formation of the next 5 decades and we challenge that we welcome together. Thank you.
Thank you, Arthur. Coming up next is Tanmay.
Thank you. Hello everyone. I am Tanmay Mahajan. Today I am going to speak some lines about Mahatma Gandhi, seeker, finder and a builder of a better nation. He once said, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Mahatma Gandhi, a leader, an influencer, a person with strong morals and belief, was not only firm to follow the path of right, but also adamant to be the change he wanted to see in the world. He preached non-violence and always practiced it too. He tried with all his might to make our nation independent, self-sufficient and self-reliant. Also, he left no stone unturned and gained freedom for our nation. And thus, our whole nation adores and remembers him as our father. A father who raised his nation and get what it truly deserved, a free and better life for his citizens. Now, I would like to call our teacher, Manisha ma'am, to enlighten us more about Mahatma Gandhi and his favorite maxim of 3 monkeys.
थैंक यू तन्मय। नमस्कार। गांधी जी सत्य और अहिंसा के पुजारी थे। उन्होंने कई सिद्धांत दिए और इन्हीं सिद्धांतों की वजह से वो पूरे विश्व में प्रसिद्ध हुए। दुनिया भर में कई लोग उनसे मिलने आते थे। एक बार चीन का एक प्रतिनिधि मंडल उनसे मिलने आया और भेंट स्वरूप उन्हें 3 बंदरों वाली एक मूर्ति दी, जिसे गांधी जी ने अपने पास बड़े प्यार से रख लिया और तभी से गांधी जी के जीवन में ये 3 बंदर जुड़ गए। कहते हैं इन तीनों बंदरों के नाम हैं। तो बच्चों, मैं आपको दिखाने जा रही हूँ पहला बंदर, ये है मिजारू बंदर। गांधी जी का मिजारू बंदर, इसने अपने हाथों से अपनी दोनों आंखें बंद कर रखी है और ये संदेश देता है कि बुरा मत देखो। गांधी जी का दूसरा बंदर, जिसका नाम है किकाजारू, किकाजारू ये संदेश देता है कि बुरा मत सुनो। तीसरा गांधी जी का बंदर, जिसका नाम है ईवाजारू बंदर, ईवाजारू बंदर यह संदेश देता है कि बुरा मत बोलो। तो मेरा आप सभी से यह अनुरोध है कि यदि हम गांधी जी के इन सिद्धांतों में से किसी एक भी सिद्धांत को अपने जीवन में अपना लें तो हम अपने जीवन को सार्थक कर सकते हैं। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Manisha ma'am. Now, I request Mrs. Vinya Pujari, Headmistress Primary from Bal Bharati Public School, Noida, to please say a few words.
Good morning to everyone at Sharjah. and good afternoon to everyone at India. I would sincerely appreciate the efforts and the initiative taken by James Millennium School, Sharjah, for this wonderful collaboration. And I firmly believe that this particular collaboration has opened new vistas for the students from both the sides. Thank you once again.
Thank you, ma'am, for your encouraging words. Thank you, Rashi ma'am and Manisha ma'am. We would like to thank everyone for your active participation and inputs. Now may I request our dear principal ma'am, Mrs. Teresa Werman, to please enlighten us with her inspiring words.
Good afternoon to everyone at Balbharti Public School in Noida, as well as to everyone out here at GEMS Millennium. This is such a wonderful journey. I was listening to children and just marveling at the similarities. We may be 2,200 kilometers away, like Rashi said, but I think there's so much that we can learn from each other. And this afternoon was a case in point. So you heard about two fathers of the nation. The father of the nation, India, the father of the nation, UAE. Two great personalities and a wonderful history lesson. Now, the reason for learning history is so that you can take something away from it. You have to learn from it and take it away into your life as well. So I want to see how well you've been listening to what the advice that Manisha ma'am just gave you, and to the advice of all your teachers. If you want to be a great person, or you want to be as good a person in life as you could possibly be, what are some of the adjectives that you heard about these two people? Any of you?
Ma'am, can I say Siddhant?
Yes.
Ma'am, we learned that there are three monkeys of Gandhiji who tell us and give specific learning. One monkey says that we should not speak bad. One monkey says we should not listen bad, and one monkey says we should not see bad.
Very good. Well done. Manisha ma'am's really happy. She's smiling. And you've got a thumbs up. Well done, Siddhant. Okay. Now, you have two people, two great people in history. What are some of the adjectives that define both? Okay, Rishma, do you want to try?
Yes, ma'am. A personality which is famous for his acts should have peace, calmness in their mind, and should love each other.
Absolutely, very good. Well done.
May
Does
I
it
also
try something new, something different?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, this is Rihanna. I have something different. They both worked very hard. Like Sheikh Zayed, he worked very hard and he improved UAE. And Mahatma Gandhi, he also worked so hard and he fought off the British and he freed India. So they both worked very hard for the nations.
Very good. Yes, and if I try a little differently, if I can just sum that up a little differently, both people were selfless. They were not thinking about themselves. They were working very hard, but working very hard for others. So that's something that you can all take away. Yeah? Yes, Razan?
Ma'am, what I want to say is that they both were merciful and they only did good in their lives. Like Mahatma Gandhi only did good for his nation, and Sheikh Zayed also did very good for his nation only.
Yes, very good. Yes, Devanshu?
And they both had a hand in terms of education.
Yes,
They improved whole education infrastructure of the country.
Yes, they did. Yes.
May I try?
Just one sec. Arjun's got his hand up. Arjun, go ahead.
Ma'am, I think the two words to describe all the nation leaders were selfless and hardworking.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, Shreya, go ahead.
Ma'am, they both had love for their country.
Very good. Yes, absolutely they did. Yes, Vedika, did you want to say something?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, Mahatma Gandhi just believed in Swadeshi.
Yeah, so what is common? What is common? I'm asking about what is common between the two great leaders. Yes, Tanmay?
Ma'am, they were peace and calm, and ma'am, they were non-violent.
Okay, all right, yes. Okay, and this is the last one. Shri Purna, go ahead.
Ma'am, they were both compassionate towards others.
Very good, yes. So just sum that up. You heard the word transformational in both. Yeah, so both tried to bring about change. Both were transformational. Both were visionaries. They could see what they wanted in the future. Yeah, so they were visionaries. But you know, more than anything else, they were able to connect to people. They listened to people, they were able to connect to people, and they were sincere about whatever they wanted to do. So people were willing to listen to them too. You heard the words honesty, you heard the words integrity, you heard the word humility. And I think these are some of the characteristics that truly make a great person. So the reason why we learn history is so that we can carry some of that into our own lives. Now you're very, very lucky. When I was in school and I was in grade 3, I remember my teacher telling all of us, you know, you should write and have a pen pal. So in those days, we used to write letters. And you actually wrote letters and you stuck a stamp on it, and then you went to the post office and you posted it. And then it took a long, long time for it to reach the other country. And so I had a pen pal who was in Japan, and I had another pen pal who was in Australia. And it used to take a long time for my letters to reach them. But see how lucky you are. If you want a pen pal, it happens in real time. Yes, so you've got now so many friends right across 2,200 miles notwithstanding, and you've made so many friends. I really hope you can take this friendship further and do more. I was very touched to see the flags. Yes, thank you, Vedika, for waving both of them. It's very sweet of you to have taken the time to draw up the two flags. There's a lot that you can learn from each other. So let this friendship grow. Yeah. Thank you to all of you at Bal Bharti, and from every one of us at GMS. We look forward to the next time we can come together again. Thank you, Shani, for making this possible.
Thank you, ma'am, for your inspiring words. May I request our headmistress, Vinita ma'am, to say a few words.
Thank you. It was a lovely experience, and definitely in terms of cooperation and in terms of two schools coming together, there are a lot of similarities, and we definitely belong to India. We are far away, but we feel very much part of India. And to both the schools, Bal Bharti and GMS, for bringing this together. And as Teresa ma'am said, I just hope this friendship continues and we take this much further. Thank you to all the children who spoke today. We learnt a lot, and that came up very well in the quizzing which Teresa ma'am did. and may the friendship grow between both the schools.
Thank you, ma'am, for your inspiring words. Now may I request Ruma ma'am to extend the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is my pleasure to extend our vote of thanks to everyone involved in this great initiative, the coming together for the virtual global collaboration. On behalf of the principal and the entire school, I warmly thank all the students and teachers of Bal Bharti School, Public School and GEMS Millennium School for participating in this joint initiative. As the world is becoming increasingly connected, so should we. We definitely would like this global virtual collaboration to be carried forward in the coming years. Thank you once more for making this event a successful one with your enthusiastic participation. I wholeheartedly thank Team GMS for working together as one family to make this project a grand success. Thank you everyone and have a great day ahead.
Thank you everyone and shukran.